How's it going? So, I want to talk to you about something. Um, it's November 7th, 2023 at 11:55 p.m. I laid down about 7:30 and woke up at like 10:30 or something like that. And what was on my mind is I wrote it on a post on Facebook. I wrote, if the Bible is repeating itself through time, then doesn't that mean Jesus is also here in the flesh again, but in a different body? So, if my past life, if I was Daniel in my past life, I was in a different body. I'd look different because of my genome. But if Jesus was in another life, we would see him as what we'd see him as. But if he was planted again in this, as timelines go by, um, then he would be born again in another body, somebody different. Um, I know some people out there can be like, well, no, why would that be? He's the Son of Man. Well, remember they talked about when Jesus was crucified on the cross, a great earthquake happened, right? Well, remember in IPEC Go 2, when Jesus, that guy that comes out, which I call him the second coming of Christ, is when Jesus comes out again, a great earthquake happens. So it's like it repeats itself. Because I was getting ready to read the chapter 11 and 12 of Daniel again. And then and I was like thinking, I'm going to do a video about that because that's quite interesting. And how people will respond to that. Will they even think, Jesus can't come back again? But he can. And when he does come back, how is he supposed to come back? And I think that's the thing about reincarnation and resurrection. Resurrect means to bring back from the dead. And reincarnation means that those that were brought back from the dead are being reincarnated. Awesome. I was going to write it down because I'm like, oh, wait a minute now. What did I just say? Resurrection is to bring back from the dead. Oh my gosh. I think that I was just channeling something in because I'm having a hard time remembering what I just said. Usually when I have a hard time remembering what I just said is because it's like something come through me. And that's why I hesitate. And I'm like, what? What did I just say? Reincarnation. Maybe that's why I was supposed to write it down. Isn't that interesting? Because my reaction was to write it down, and that's probably why I was supposed to write it down. So, reincarnation and resurrection. So reincarnation means you come back into another timeline. Violet. Oh, good one, Lord. The movie Ultraviolet. I talked a little bit about in one of my videos yesterday. That movie has let's put movie. The girl's name, or the woman's name, she's like a fighter. Her name, well, she's actually this actress right here. I'll try to turn it and show you. her, Ultraviolet. It was in 2006. And see, she's in purple. You can see the purple rain. Oh, you can see the purple rain. I don't know if I blocked the speaker or not. Well, her name is V. Now, she changes. She kind of like when I say ship shape, ship shape. She doesn't. Her body doesn't change. It's her outfits, and it's all because of the belt that she has on. And that belt, I think I seen it in Hebrew. Um, where is that belt? If I can get a close up of her belt. Here, let me do something here. Okay, but her name, she goes by V. V is VI. VI means 6. And then the child, that secret weapon that they have is the child. Well, the child's name is 6. So V and 6 are the same. V is she do the vaccines of the world vaccines populated some people, and so now she's kind of like a vampire kind of like thing, and so 6 is the key. His DNA is the key of solving the virus that's happening with their population. So if you look at it, it's 66. It's mother and child, but V is actually 6, but 6 is a boy. So, well, it's kind of interesting, again, about the reincarnation coming back to life. I want to try to see if I can get a video, because it's pretty, I was watching it yesterday, when she does, because she's just full of weapons. She's pretty much a killer because of her DNA was changed. She's a fighter kind of thing, but she's got a heart of her. She's really emotionally. She's not like the rest of them that are just corrupt. Even of the vampire species. So anyway, she wants this cure. She wants to go back. Because she was experimented on, and she was put into the lab, and she was pregnant, and she had lost her baby because of what they did to her. It's kind of like that revenge thing, to where you've killed her child, and then now 6, the child is 6 of 8 clones. So I was gonna do a clip here, and I know how to do this. Ultraviolet. And then remember Prince Charles, as soon as the Queen died, he went and did the purple crown and the purple robe. So when you think of purple rain too, it means reigning over the country, controlling it, that type of thing. Okay, we're going through some commercials, but it's very interesting how that played out, what was coming to me. Okay, so she goes up. It's pretty cool. So, here, this part right here. Let's stop this part.
Number of weapons found. Many.
I'm here to see the Vice Cardinal.
That child was 6. So, and he's the one who's got the cure. And so she ends up um, grabbing him, saving him from this guy who looks like Dr. Fauci. Quite interesting. I'm not sure how well you can see that through the screen. But Dex of the science lab, it's quite interesting because they have a cross on the front of their door. How he looks like Fauci. It's really interesting. And then when we look at the world today and the things that are playing out, but I think that's very important that when we look at everything that they're showing us and when we try to figure out even Nostradamus, where was it? There's an image here that I was showing you the other day where it shows the sun is planted on the earth through his end time images. Oh, right here. Excuse me. Burped. Let's see if we can get it close up. You can see that one right there. You can see the sun, the king is planted on the earth. So the sun has come down and planted himself on the earth. This is the second image, the long hair. Remember, I've shown you on my chest the long hair, and that's the book of life, where in English it says one male. And then the archer, and of course you got the Holy Scripture and the 2 fish. And then it just goes from scene, and the wheel is so interesting about the wheel, how the wheel changes. That I think we're here, and I think this is what we're experiencing right now. And I think this is just right around the corner, the golden age, the new book, the new opening. So does this mean that it's a new timeline? And is this book repeating itself again? Right? Because you got the 2 Marys, or you either got grandmother and mother, which I think that's what that's representing, because you got red and blue, what we have now, like 2 pillars again. And of course the deer, which is the moon. So possibly the sun and the moon, and the mothers with the moon. So, and then it shows that there's a new justice system already playing out. The old has fallen. And then the seal is completely, the wheel is turned into a different seal. It's interesting. So I wonder if that means no more wheel in the sky, or does the wheel start out like this? Because this wheel has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spokes, and then it goes into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spokes. So it's interesting how that plays out. Hopefully you guys seen that, because I can't see from the other side of that. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll just save this image and put it on the front cover of the video. Save as. But yeah, that really got me going today of thinking, well, I wonder if everything is repeating itself. And if it is repeating itself, then that means Jesus is here again. That means Jesus is going to, maybe in I Pet Goat 2, that guy that's coming out that looks like, kind of resembles Jesus, or a second coming of Christ. And then that's where you get the 2 sons. Very interesting. And then the great earthquake that's going to happen. And then when Jesus was crucified, there was this great earthquake, because they go, surely he was the Son of Man, Son of God. Because even at that time, they didn't even know that the Son of God was with them. Because Jesus was going around preaching about, the scripture and the truth, and that the church was corrupt and everything, right? And healing the people. And then even when he died, because remember, they were making fun of him all the way, and save yourself, so he's up on the cross, and then, they stick a spear of destiny, is what it was, in the side of him. And then water come out, and then that's when supposedly the great earthquake happened. And then they were like, he was the Son of God. So when you look at today's world, it's quite interesting what's going to play out. Is this person that's perhaps a Jesus person living in the flesh today, is this person going to be crucified, and then we're going to have the great earthquake? Because remember in Ipeco 2 at the end, where he comes out, he's like in this sleepy daze. He's going through on the ark, and he's got his eyes closed, and he's kind of like standing there in a meditation, and the fish jump into the ship or into his ark. So that's why I was like thinking, with all these images on my body, the fish are jumping into the ark. That means all the people are within my body and my ark. And I don't think that literally means that they're in me. I think that it's kind of like a marking that possibly a following. It's quite interesting. I don't know how to explain that part. But honestly, so this must mean, I was looking at some videos yesterday as well about the it's 12:12 a.m. Better turn it down. On How to Train Your Dragon, that kind of like cartoon thing, animated movie. And I was thinking about the kid named Hiccup. On his uniform, his leather uniform, he's got a square patch in his leather, and it's got 4 skulls. It's like a square patch, and it's like a skull. How does it go? I think it was a patch, with 4 skulls on it. And I was like thinking about that, and when I was seeing that, I was like, I've not noticed that before. It's a video that says the dark symbols, because it's quite interesting how people. Remember, I was telling you about English. English is the reverse of Hebrew, our original language of God, right? So people are so focused on English that they think that that's right, but it's not right, because it's the reverse of our original language, like God's language. So God's language is the original language of Hebrew and Greek, Latin and Arabic, but people think God's language is English. So they look at it as dark language. So when I say that on the videos, it's not dark, it's a light language by people reading it to the dark realm. I mean, like King David said in Psalms 23, as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, right? This is where we are. And then you have the underworld below that. So you have the underworld, the shadow of death, and then heaven. I don't know. It's just, but what do you think? Do you feel it? That's why I think also that's why it was been pushing for people to try to get into their mind, get into their thinking, that raise our vibrations, to study, to write, to transcript their life, to look at the images on themselves. That's what I wanted to tell you is yesterday I was in my video, I was showing there's like a very large person right here. Wait a minute, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get her from this angle. But there's a very large person on my forehead besides that girl that I was showing you. if you look in the video yesterday, oh, let's see if I can pull it up. But I was showing you right here, you can see the two eyeballs. So there's like a face on my cheek right here. This lighting's so weird. Anyway, look at my past videos. You can see like there's a giant face right here. There's two big eyeballs right there. And a mouth like right there. And on this side, you should see on this whole cheek, a big face, like two eyeballs right there. And then down here on my neck, I showed you there's like two eyeballs right there. So there's like a face here, a face here, a face here, and a face here. And I was like thinking, oh. So all this was going through my mind as I was laying down last night or today or whatever. Like a totem pole. And that's where Jesus, about the native Indian, and even in iPad Go 2 of the thing that he's wearing on his hip is kind of like a native Indian colors. And then you got the dancers with the feathers, right? Interesting. My mind is just clicking now, but it's really interesting. See, yeah, you can see the guy's face because this is the one that kind of looks like a heart shape. But there's an eye there, and there's an eye there. So there's this like giant face. Let's see if I can get the one on my forehead to come in. Probably not, because this is too bright. But isn't that fascinating? Then I've got that gouge. What's happening here? I don't know, you guys, but so I'm kind of stalling and tripping out, having a hard time sleeping. I think I've told you guys that. But I don't know. I think this is very fascinating. And perhaps that's why you've got people on the world stage now saying, I mean, there was a video out on Facebook with Bette Midler, and she was like, yeah, this is when I think in 2020 or right before the elections. And it wasn't a very long video, maybe about 5 minutes or 6 minutes. But she got on there and she goes, "You may know me as Bette Midler, but I'm Isaiah. I am Isaiah in Scripture." And I was like thinking, listening to her, and she's going how through her life, but what she sees herself as. So she sees herself as Isaiah in Scripture. And so when you think of Isaiah, Isaiah is a guy. Well, she's a female in this life. And that's another interesting thing, right? When I was telling you about the movie Ultraviolet, where B, so BI or B1 is 6. So if you look at 6, it's right here. Mine's I, which is the third eye. So the sixth chakra. And then you've got the child, which is 6. That's interesting because remember that letter 6 that come out on my chin? I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it. was right there. I shaved, and maybe I shaved. And that looks like a big eye. But there was a letter 6. Oh, this looks so much different. It looks like there's something outlining on my chin. Oh, so trippy. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I've been talking for like 26 minutes, and you guys are probably just bored with me. So have a good night.